The Browns versus the Chargers is an interesting matchup because it's another massive road test for a defense that has put together two of the best performances a defense has ever had in Cleveland Browns history, or at least in expansion Cleveland Browns history, back to back. So even if they don't play well this week or don't have like the shutout like they did last week, you have to wonder how that really affects your perception of this defense. Is an interesting question to ask there. But Justin Herbert in a high-powered Los Angeles Charger offense, they're going to be in LA. The Browns are going to be there. There's a lot to talk about with this game. Before I get into that, though, I want to make sure I thank the Patreon.com Dog Check tier members. And we're going to start with Michael Matique, Cam Vex, Jaleel Salim Jr. and Sr., Caleb Pickering, Benjamin Woods, Michael Terry, Sam28, Wani Boy, Rob Morehouse, Tyler Chiz, Michael Morales, Mark Kahn, Max Haymaker, Nick Merrick, D.A.J., Joe Hart, Gabriel Wilson, Fred Pat III, David Valtiar, Relentless Buck, Rex Kaufman, Kevin Johnson, Cleveland Cart, Matt H., Sign Sheets, Gemini, Leon Freeman, Fight 3074, Chunt, Yo-Yo, Matt Lloyd, Paul Wilcox, Hondo Magnifico, Kyle Stoffer, Lukey from Munich, Dave Roth, J Guy 101, Musty Taco, Brad Cowbo, Dylan W, James McGinley, Arendal, Chad Gimme, David Maldonado, Josh Spindor, Austin Rich, Mark M, Stuart Moore, Dylan Hill, Cleveland BCI, Robert Germain, Dave Mike May, Andrew Hirsch, Curtis Bayer, Batman, Barack Kumar, John Albert, Beerman 069, Masayua, Butts Roland, Mac House, Reeve Hertz, Philip Wilcoxon, Marie Vivert, Sean Barron, Goggles Pisano, Dom Gazzulo, Nick Nasty, Ian Whitaker, Colin 216, Christian, Dave Strong, Michael Stone, Soul Train, Billy, Moose Gentry, Austin Z, Mark Burnett II, Andre Griffin, Otis Wolf, Dog Pound Kai, Greg Ehlers, Austin Bolin, Lydia Mahawk, Alexander Davis, Chris Falms, Picktown Browns backer, Max Neelakenko, Max Al Dojo, and Water Bear Marketing. Again, guys, thank you so much. Now let's get into the video. All right, so this is going to be an interesting game. And by the way, yeah, I know my voice is kind of thrown out right now. I sound like Calais Campbell. I'll be all right. I just threw my voice out a couple of days ago at a concert, so I'm recovering. So that's what's going on with me. But this game, I think, is very interesting. This game is important. I'm going to start with the defensive side of the ball because I think that's where a lot of the eyeballs are going to be, even though I think there's some intriguing stuff going on the offensive side of the ball for the Cleveland Browns here too. But defensively, when you look at what Justin Herbert has done well this year, it's pretty impressive. He's been good against the blitz. He's been good against pressure. He's been good when pressured. He's just been good all around. So getting pressure is not going to be enough like it was last week, right? Where Kirk Cousins is going to be able to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds and throw it into the dirt. That's not how Justin Herbert gets down. The good news is Justin Herbert going to hold on to that ball a little bit longer than Kirk Cousins, so you have more opportunities to get home. But when you get home, you need to get home. That's the most important thing, right? Pressures won't be good enough. Hurries won't be good enough. The Browns defense needs to get home when they have the opportunity. So you want to get, I would say if you want to win this game from a defensive effort standpoint, probably around 4 or 5 sacks in this game at the very least, just because that's what it's going to take to get the Chargers behind the sticks enough to make this, to make them punt and to stall that offense out a little bit more. They have weapons on top of weapons in L.A. They have Keenan Allen. They have Mike Williams. They have Jared Cook. They have Austin Eckler. Those are going to be the 4 guys that are going to really test this defense. I'm interested to see, how do you play JOK, right? Do you focus him on Jared Cook? Do you focus him on Eckler? Do you do a little bit of both? Do you blitz JOK often to get home on Herbert? That's going to be interesting. On the offensive line aspect for this team, Rashad Slater's been very solid. He's probably been the best offensive lineman in this entire draft class. So he's been extremely solid. The right tackle for this team, Storm Norton, he's not been solid. So here's what I expect from this Browns defense is to put Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett next to each other on that right side often, and then just throw Tack McKinley or somebody at Rashad Slater and let him win that, because you want to attack the weak points. The other parts of this offensive line are really good. That right tackle situation is the biggest weakness on this Chargers offense. Otherwise, they really don't have a weakness. They're a very solid run team, very solid short throw team, deep throw team. They have it all there. So they're going to be very good offensively. It's going to be a real tough task for this defense. I would not expect this defense to shut out the Chargers or to keep the Chargers under 21 points. I think the Chargers are going to get their points in. Offense is going to have to wake up for the Browns to win this game, because even if you get a great defensive effort, I don't know if that stops the Chargers from scoring the ball this week, because I think they're that high-powered of an offense and that creative of an offense. I really like the things that they do here. If I'm the Cleveland Browns personnel-wise, I would play lighter packages. I know that Anthony Walker is back, but I still would lean to giving more snaps to Malcolm Smith and JOK, because they're better in coverage. They're better. They're more hybrid. They're more athletic. You can keep that athlete on the field here. You want to keep Grant Delpit on the field. I don't know if you're going to have Ronnie Harrison back, but if you can, you might want to use him less than Grant Delpit this week. You want to have all the athletes you can on the field. Now, I don't know who's going to be out there in the secondary, because if you read the injury report, literally the entire secondary is doubtful or questionable. So who knows who's going to be out there for the secondary. And if that's the case, again, more athletes, the more athletes possible that you can have out there, the better. Again, the Chargers are going to score. I think they're going to probably put up at least 21 points. If you keep them under 21, I think that's a massive win for this defense. And if you don't win that game and they're under 21, that's more about the offense. So for this defense, that's the goal. Get home on these pressures, right? You need at least 5 sacks. Get them behind the sticks. Take some of these things like Eckler out the game early, because you can get them behind the sticks and make some of these things less effective. And then you can key in on Keenan and Mike Williams on those 50-50 balls. Don't attack Slater. Attack Storm Norton when you do that. And also play lighter, more athletic, or as athletic as possible that you can against them. The Chargers are going to score. They're going to put up points. They're going to look good at some points. That's okay. But keep them under 21 points, and you can be in a good to great position to win this football game. Now let's talk about the offense. So the biggest problem that the Browns are going to have on the offensive side of the ball is Joey Bosa. He's a massive problem. Everybody else on that defensive line, not been the same massive problem. They've really been underperforming. If you look at Tillery, Covington, and Nwosu, they have been underperforming. But Bosa's still Bosa. So what's your solution, right? Now, the way that the Chargers play Bosa is that they put him on the right side normally. It's kind of like how T.J. Watt plays in Pittsburgh, where he's always on the right side. So that's a little bit of a break, because you at least get Jack Conklin there. But they might switch it up, because you got a rookie and James Hudson probably starting there for the Browns at left tackle. And if I were the Chargers, I would put Joey Bosa on him as much as possible, because, again, a rookie really going to have a hard time against a very strong defensive end like Joey Bosa, right? That's where rookies struggle. If it's a finesse guy, rookie offensive tackles tend to do better against that. But the biggest transition for an offensive tackle or offensive lineman in their first year is dealing with that big boy strength people give you in the NFL. And Joey Bosa got big boy strength when it comes to the defensive end position there. So if I were the Chargers, I would line up Joey Bosa almost exclusively on that left side to attack James Hudson, because you're probably going to be able to exploit that. That being said, and knowing that problem, what's the Browns going to do to kind of go away from that or not let that crash their game plan? I think you can try to do like short throws and just get the ball out quick. I don't think that's been conducive to a good offense. So if I were the Browns, I would try to tire out Bosa as much as possible and try to bait him into some power rushes early with some run counters, right? That's what I would try to do. Just tire him out, and then hit him with the play action over the top, stretch the field out. It really attacked the Chargers in that way, right? You got to be careful because the Chargers have some good defensive backs. Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James, Tevin Campbell. Well, Tevon Campbell has been really good. And if I were the Browns, again, heavy packages, right? 3 tight end packages, but don't use 3 tight end like you've been using it where you're still in a 5-man protection. I would use it how you used it last year, where you're in some 6-man protections, you're sending 2 people down the field, and you're going to send them deep down the field and just stretch this defense out and try to take Bosa out the game like that with deception. That's how I would do it if I were the Cleveland Browns. When it comes to Baker Mayfield, a lot's been talked about. Torn labrum here, bad shoulder. Is that why he's not been playing well? Here's where I am on this. Yes, he has a torn labrum. Yes, that obviously does not help him play football better. But am I the only one that watches this team that's getting deja vu from previous years with Baker Mayfield? I mean, we did this last year where he broke his ribs the last 2 quarters of the Indy game, and then his ribs are still broken versus Pittsburgh, and he was awful in that game, and then he was bad in the first quarter against Cincinnati, and then he throws 5 touchdowns, goes 22 of 22. We literally never hear about those broken ribs again because it didn't matter. With Baker Mayfield, I firmly believe that he is a good enough quarterback to where even if he does have a partially torn labrum, and he does, it's not enough to keep him from being Baker Mayfield most of the time. Like, he's still good enough to play better than he did against the Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs, against the Vikings. And I don't think it's a full excuse. And if you ask Baker that, I'm pretty sure he'll tell you that. If you ask the coaching staff that, I'm pretty sure they'll tell him that. Like, yeah, is it something that you can say affected his play? Yeah. But Baker is such a good quarterback that I think he can overcome something like that to the point to where he's not going to play bad just because he has that. So when it comes to Baker and addressing what he did last week, he just has to play better. He'll get the opportunity to here, right? Because I think they're going to stretch the field out. I think they're going to target Odell a lot. I think they're going to try to vertically stretch them out and horizontally stretch them out with the run game. That's kind of the attack that I'll do. Baker's going to have to be accurate downfield, not going to be a high completion percentage game. And I think the magic number for Baker is you want 5+ 20+ yard completions for him. If he can get to that number, I think he's back to being who he normally is. And I think that's going to vertically stretch out this Chargers defense enough to where you can really, really attack them with the ground game and really get back to playing Kevin Stefanski, Cleveland Browns football. So again, my key notes for the offense: hopefully they bring back 6-man protections with no left tackle. They take some deep shots early and really stretch the defense out vertically with the passing game, and then attack horizontally away from Bosa in the running game just to tire him out so he's not wreaking havoc all game there. That's what I think they should do from looking at it. But let me know what you think the Browns should do against the Chargers and what you think the outcome's going to be. Let me know in the comment section below. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night.